Everyone wants to be loved, and we frequently mistakenly believe that we must seek it from others. One of the most challenging things to learn is loving and approving of yourself. It requires devoting time to oneself and prioritizing your interests and needs over those of others. Tune in as Maria Romano shares with us the importance of self-love and what you can do to take care of yourself.
Hey, everybody. Oh, hi, everybody. Maria Romano from True Love Knots. How are you doing tonight? How are you feeling? If you're, out and about on Facebook and you see that I'm talking, I want to know how you're feeling tonight. Yes. Are you feeling loved? Right? Are you feeling as if you are giving yourself love? Yes, that's my topic tonight. And I wanted to bring this to you earlier today. I didn't have a chance, unfortunately. I got to be a little busy, and then I was out at an event tonight. And at this particular event, I found it interesting because the gal that was speaking spoke about productivity and how to be more present and how to be more mindful. And I thought that was pretty interesting because that's exactly what I wanted to talk to you today about and share this. And this will also be available on my podcast. It'll be released probably in a couple of days. So on any platforms, if you miss this live, as well as my YouTube channel. And as you know, I always like to bring you information, valuable information that's going to help you, especially those that are in my community, those that are single, those that are married. It doesn't matter. This particular topic today is, what are you doing? What are you doing to help yourself become the best healthy version of you? How are you giving yourself love? Yeah, I want you to take a moment. What are you doing to take care of yourself? Now, most of us, right, we might be parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles. We're busy maybe in the corporate world, we're working, and we need to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves first. And why is that important? Because when you take care of yourself, first of all, number one, you're healthier, you're happier, and you're able to provide those around you, whether people that you love, people that you like, people that you work with, you're able to provide them and give them the best version of yourself. And that, first and foremost, is so important. As I was listening to this talk, I thought it was very interesting because they talked about setting timelines and making sure that you had schedules and so on and so forth. And I just, as a matter of fact, just to give you a plug, I just bought it's called the GPP, the Gutsy Pivot Planner, that I have my dear friend, Christina Katz, who's helping me become more productive. Okay. And what happens when you become more productive? Sometimes you get more stressed. You're thinking, oh my God, I got all this list. But one of the things I put down on my planner every day is I take the time to take care of myself. Now, there are many different ways that you can take care of yourself. Everybody likes to fill their cup differently with different drinks, right? Some people like tea, some people like water, some people might coffee, and then maybe you like to put something else in it. But whatever it is, everybody has different ways of filling their cup. And your cup might be that what you like to do to take care of yourself and nourish yourself is you might want to just sit down and mind wander. And mind wandering happens to be something that's pretty big right now, where you just sit down and maybe you spend, a few minutes just looking outside in your backyard or sitting in your favorite spot in the house, wherever it is, and just let your mind wander. And you don't think of anything. So that it takes a little bit of time to get to that, where your mind is actually it's stopping, and your thoughts, you're not controlling them, they're just flowing. And that helps you, and that helps recharge you. Some people like to meditate. That might be the way some people like to pray. I like to do both. I like to do all three, as a matter of fact. I just don't have the time to do all three. But it's very important that you find time to take care of yourself. And I know you're thinking, hey, Maria, I'm a busy mom, right? I've got 3 kids. I hear that from my daughter. And at the end of her day, what she likes to do, she says, you know what, Mom, for me, the kids are in bed and I like to put on my favorite program and just veg. Now, and that might be great too. But, one of the things I'm going to ask you is to think about when you are going through that recharge, reboot method, you need to shut off all social media. And what I like to do, and this I'm going to give you just some, this is what I like, and this might be something you might like, is I like to listen to music because music can be very relaxing and music touches the soul. And when the soul is touched, right, you feel good. Your body feels good because you want to calm yourself down. I was listening to the Today Show this morning, and let me see if I got this doctor's name right. Dr. Debbie, who did a big research study about headaches, right? We have an underground pandemic, she calls it, of people that are getting headaches. And she did this research from the University of Irvine, California. And she talked about that most of us are stressed most of the time. And when we're stressed, what happens? We get headaches. And we're stressed because what? We're putting pressure on ourselves. And only you are in control of your emotions. Nobody else. Nobody else. So even when things do occur that you feel are stressful, it's all how you react. And the difference between an action and a reaction is a hesitation. And when you are filling your cup, okay, and you are taking care of yourself, and you then come in contact with a situation that's challenging, what happens then is you're not reacting, you're acting because you're taking control of yourself. Because why? You're taking care of yourself. You, my dear friend, you are your most valuable asset. Nobody else but you. You are valuable, you are worthy, and you need to take care of you. So think about what I'm saying, because, there are times in life when our daughter gets down. Yes, I have that. We all do. And it's important to practice self-love. That's right, self-love, because you need to love you. You need to love you first before anybody else can love you. And when you take the time to take care of yourself, you spend the time. Maybe you mind wander. Maybe you go for a jog or a walk. Maybe you meditate. Maybe you pray. But you take the time, and every day you schedule it. You put it in your schedule to say, you know what? I'm going to start off even with 5 minutes. And then maybe you'd increase it to 6, to 7, to 10. If you can get up to 20 minutes a day, joy. That would be wonderful. But it's important that you take the time to fill your cup, because then when you do, you feel good, you're in control, your body's in control, and you're able then to provide the best version of yourself to everybody else. And that's what's important in life, right? You want to be the best version of yourself. You want to show up. You want to show up present. You want to show up engaged. You don't want to show up where you're half there, you're not listening. And that's important. And, let's face it today, we have so many different distractions that are going on in our life. But when you stop and you take the time to take care of yourself, that's what's important. And I'm going to give you a quick analogy of how this came about for me, because I sometimes am the worst at taking care of myself, but I'm learning, my friends. I'll keep you posted on this journey to make sure I'm taking care of myself so I can then give to my community, give to the people that I love. So I had my friends bought me, it's called a moth orchid. You see them in the grocery stores. Those are the pretty white ones, right? In their cluster. And those orchids, they usually last a few weeks if you take care of them. And then, of course, the leaves fall off. So somebody told me, my dear friend Gita told me, do you know how you take care of the orchid, Maria? It doesn't matter if you put the orchid in sunlight or not. Every week, you water it. And then somebody else told me that you just put ice cubes once a week in the orchid. So this orchid was given to me in September by a dear friend of mine when she came to the house for dinner. And then, of course, by December, the leaves had fallen off. So I just did some Googling. I cut back the stalk and I kept watering the orchid once a week. And as of last week, that whole orchid is in bloom again. Okay. And I want you to use this analogy and think about yourself. Even though there are times you might feel dormant, right? Just like the orchid when there was no flowers and you don't feel at your best, you still need to take care of yourself. That is so important that you take care of you, especially if you're a mom, a dad, right? And you're running, you're hurrying around and you're trying to take care of children. You're trying to take care of a family, you're working, whatever. You need to take care of yourself so that you can show up for your family. You can show up for whatever you're doing in your work life, a balance. For those of you that are in the dating world, that you're single and you're out there and you're trying to meet people, again, you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, just like this orchid. Okay, and this orchid was dormant for another 3 months, but I still took care of the orchid. Okay, and the thing is you cannot neglect yourself. Again, you're your most valuable asset. And also, too, you need to make sure that you are definitely in the mode of always being present and spreading love. And I'm going to share something with you that I have been doing, and it's really paying off. So one of the things that I do whenever I meet people, when people come in my life and I speak to them, or even I text them, and I always sign off with "love you." Now, I know this sounds a bit much, okay, even with friends and even with some of my professional friends. And I say that to them, and they're a little taken back. And I said, yes, I love everybody. And I do. And I've taken that, and I have developed that mindset. And let me tell you, it's not easy all the time. So the other day, one of my friends, who she's not that vocal, and I text her, she's going away for a few weeks. And I said, have a great trip. She said, I will. She says, you have a great trip too. And she texts back, love you. So when you're out there in the world, okay, and you are taking care of yourself and you're making sure that you're filling your cup first so that you can give to everyone else, remember, it's also so important to spread love and to tell people you love them. And I don't necessarily mean in the romantic way, but we do. Listen, we're made for connection. Okay, we weren't made to live by ourselves, to be by ourselves. We were made for connection. We're made to be around people. And people that are in your life, love them. Tell them you love them. Don't miss that opportunity, because you might not have that opportunity. So my dear, dear friends, as I come trying to wind down from the evening, I had to share this with you. As you know, that I just love my community out there, and I do love you, and I love you more. Okay, remember, as I said tonight, make sure you're filling your cup. Make sure you're taking care of yourself first so that you can show up, so you can be the best version of yourself, so you can give the best version, so you can love everybody and they can love you back. Because when you practice that, you'll be surprised how much better you feel and how the world looks so different. So, good night, my dear friends. Have a great evening. Until I come back again, remember, I love you.